What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through the top 3 reasons to buy an X-Hire bike. If you take anything away from this video, make sure to like and subscribe down below as it really helps me out. Hope you enjoy. So point number 1 is they're very cheap. You can even sometimes get £400 off a bike that's only been ridden once or twice in its life. And if you bring that bike into your house, it will be nearly new and you've got an absolute bargain on your hands. You know, you can get nearly new bikes that say cost £1,000 at new for £600 as an X-Hire bike. So basically you get a much better bike for your money if you go for an X-Hire bike. Okay guys, so for point number 2, it's that you support your local bike shop. It's usually your local bike shop that supply these X-Hire bikes and they sell them for much cheaper, and it's because they want to get these bikes out. As we know, COVID-19 has taken over our lives, and for bike shops it's been very hard. Bike shops that may not have a website or may not be open at the minute because they sell kind of very limited products. They may not have their whole shop open. The business is booming at the minute, but for smaller bike shops it's quite hard. You see so many sad stories about bike shops closing, pubs closing, everything's closing, and we need to help our local bike shops. Don't order off online. Go to your local bike shop, see if they have a bike. If they don't, then fine, go online. But make sure to do your research and check on your local bike shop website if they have X-Hire bikes coming up. And I think that's a very, very important reason. I'm quite passionate about that because my local bike shop is quite underfunded at the minute and I really want to support them. So yeah. Point number 2 is that you support your local bike shop. Okay, so for point number 3, it's a bit of a controversial one. So obviously X-Hire bikes get ridden loads over their lives because it depends on who you get it from and how long the bike's been active. But if you get a bike like my bike, which I'll link my review to in the description, it's been only ridden, I think it was ridden 12 times and over 6 months. And that's not a lot, and that's not because the bike was faulty, that was just because the bike shop I got it from, they had a lot of bikes that were being hired out. So I think that you should go for an X-Hire bike over a private seller, because it may not be that your bike has been in the best condition, but usually what bike shops offer you is some form of deal. So they'll put maybe a new derailleur in for maybe like an extra £100, or maybe they'll add a new chain, they'll grease everything up for you. So if you're not as confident in bike mechanics, then they'll grease everything up for you, they'll make sure everything is running smoothly, whereas a private seller may not do that kind of thing. A private seller will kind of just sell you the bike because they clearly want to get it sold for another bike, so they'll just get it gone. And yeah, I think the bike shops will make sure the bike is looked after over time, whereas if you went to a private seller, then maybe not so much. So that would be point number 3, that the bikes will be looked after over time, and even though they are ridden lots, they will be looked after lots, so it all cancels out. So I'd go for an X-Hire bike over a private seller, and that's point number 3. Okay, so you may be wondering how I know all of this, or you may be wondering why I'm telling you this. It's because I have 2 X-Hire bikes. Me and my dad both have X-Hire bikes, and we've had me for about probably 7 or 8 months now, is working completely fine. My dad maybe 6 months, and they're both working completely fine. The only problem I've encountered is my brake pads wearing out, and that's completely my fault. Not my fault, but it's from my doing. My bike has worked completely fine. My dad's bike has worked completely fine as well. So to wrap this up, I'd say don't be worried that the bike's going to rattle around and it's all going to be terrible. You're going to have to put loads of new parts on it, because you don't. From experience, I know that you don't. I've had 2 X-Hire bikes from over my life, and I know that you don't, because the companies that sell you it look after the bikes. It's that simple. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Hope this encouraged you to get an X-Hire bike. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, really helps me out, and see you in the next one.